Hello, welcome to another video. This is Hertz Hill, and today we're going to be doing 24 hours up the top of the hill where it hurts with some kit, and we're going to try out a few things. Alright, so join us if you can. It's going to be a long video because there's a fair bit to cover. Okay, so I'm early, as I'm always early. I just hate people when they're late. Alright, I'm never late. Alright, so I always try to be punctual. I'm an hour early and my mate's going to be turning up in a couple of hours. Okay, so I've got some time to kill. Now what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to show you some of the kit and equipment in brief detail, okay, not in depth, because it's going to take up ages. Alright, so we're going to go over the smock, okay, and then after that just a little brief overview of the Bergen, some of the back of the vehicle, and I think go for a bit of a recce. Okay, there she is. That is an SAS Arctic smock, as they're commonly known as. Okay, been around for a few years now. All right, I'm not sure of the age, maybe the 80s, I'm guessing. Okay, it's very lightweight and it's very windproof. Okay, the weave in the material is so thin, you know, it's going to be excellent for blocking out wind. All right, so we're going to be going over what I'm actually carrying on this trip. Okay, in the top pockets we're going to go over first. Incidentally, these have all been taped up by the original owner. It's an old trick we used to do a long time ago, and it's just a quick, cheap way of stopping shine. Okay, these buttons are shiny, and that's commonly known as sniper tape. Okay, so that's all been covered up to prevent glint and shine. Now what I've done here is there's a gap there, can you see? And all I've done is I've just threaded it through so it's tethered. All right, the last thing you want is that falling out and getting lost. Okay, it could be a right old nightmare. I've used this before. You can pick them up for, well, I paid £20 for it a long time ago. They're quite dated for this day and age with technology, but what this does is this stores 3 locations. Okay, and you could be, was it 999 miles away, and it will guide you within about 2 meters, which is pretty amazing. I've tested this myself and it actually does work. It's very accurate. So today I'm going to be marking one, where my vehicle is. Okay, when I find a suitable place on the recce in a minute, I'm going to mark a second location. So basically that means we can walk around anywhere we want, and we're going to know where camp is and we're going to know where our vehicle is. 2 most very important locations you should mark if you're doing this sort of thing. Okay, now this is only for backup. All right, we're going to be using compasses, as you should do, but never rely on just this. Okay, so that is the contents of that pocket. Okay, the other chest pocket, very important, a hip flask. Always keep on your person. Okay, very sensible thing to do. And also another piece of very important equipment is a whistle. All right, now I've decided to upgrade the actual ring on here because the one that came with it was a bit flimsy and a bit naff. Okay, an orange piece of cord because you can quickly identify it and get it. Okay, always test out your whistles as well. I've got quite a few. Okay, all sorts, cheap ones, expensive ones. Give them a good blast. All right, the ones that's got a silly high-pitched little squeaky noise, just try not to use them. Okay, I apologise for the noise in the background. We've got a couple of horses going by. Right, okay, so I chose this one. They're very cheap, but they emit a very loud blast. Okay, now I do encourage anyone going out into the woods, especially if they're on their own or indeed within a group. Okay, always carry a whistle. This is a massive woodland. It's very huge. Okay, and it's very easy to get lost. And if you're separated from your friend or your group, you use your whistle. Okay, it's pointless trying to shout and scream. All right, it's just ridiculous. Whistles, excellent piece of kit. So always carry a whistle. Okay, so this is bare basics in this smock. All right, I've got my survival smock in the vehicle, but this is just for this video. All right, now when I got this jacket, this pocket was sewn on there, which I thought was quite cool. And I should imagine that it's maybe for a Magellan GPS or something like that. Okay, or maybe even a telephone. So what I've decided to do is put my survival tin in there. Okay, now this was kindly made and sent to me as a gift from a good friend of mine on Instagram with Colin Brown. Okay, now I've actually checked through all of the items of kit in here, which is chosen, and he's chosen very well. All right, that is an excellent piece of kit. I'm not going to go through all of the contents because, you know, this video is going on long enough already. Now, it's a nice tight fit in there, okay? So I don't want it rattling around, okay? So that's the reason behind that. And obviously we've just got a Velcro closure to secure it. Okay, the bottom pockets. Right, we've got a couple of leads in here. Now, one of them's for my camcorder and one of them's for my smartphone, okay? And we're going to go into that in a sec. And one thing that I did notice doing stuff, because it's very hilly around here, is some energy. Now these little energy sweets are brilliant, okay? Just keep your sugar levels topped up when you're drinking your water, alright? Okay, and last but not least, in this pocket, some toilet tissues, okay? There's nothing worse than being caught short and you're away from camp, alright? It weighs nothing, it's a good idea to carry something like that, okay? As I said, the smock was very cheap. Now while I got it, it had a great big tear all the way across the hood. So all I've done was I just sewed it together, okay? Done it a good strong repair, and now we've got a very serviceable piece of kit, alright? Another thing what I like to do is, especially if you're buying older gear, is especially if it's got zips, okay, just get your candle, right? Some candle wax on both sides, on all over the zips, everything zips, and work your zip through it. It makes a huge amount of difference, okay? It's so much easier, alright? Okay, so now we're in the inside of the smock, and this happens to have quite a nice sized inside pocket, alright? Now all I do is keep my solar charger in there. It's full up. I've charged it up at home via the USB, and that's going to enable me, if I need it, to charge up my phone and my camcorder, okay? Now the reason I keep that on the inside pocket is because it's the closest part to your body from the smock, and it's going to stop the battery running out quicker because it's cold stashed away in your Bergen, alright? Always keep your battery chargers and batteries close to your body as you can, alright? It just makes them last a lot longer. Okay, let's go. So the car park's just over there, not far. What I'm going to try and do is to try and do this properly, okay? Now what I'm saying by that is it doesn't make sense to be unfit, put a heavy pack on and just do stuff like this, okay? You're going to hurt. So what I'm going to do now, just got this quite a shallow incline, it's nothing drastic. I'm probably going to give myself about 10-15 minutes just walking, okay, no pack on. What that's going to do is that's going to warm my legs up, alright? Get the oxygen running around the muscles and your legs nice and warm. At that point, and I stress only at that point, I'm then going to stretch, okay? Hamstrings, calves, etc. Now, it doesn't make sense really to stretch cold muscles, so I'm going to do this first. I thought I'd show you this. This looks pretty neat, doesn't it? Now that looks very cool. It's taken someone a while to gather the materials and to do that, but I should imagine, you know, with a proper tarp holder on the fire, that's a nice shelter, that. Wow. It was very foggy on the drive actually, coming here. It's starting to lift and the sun's coming through. It's going to be a cool night, probably around 2 degrees, maybe freezing, don't know yet. We'll see how that goes. But it's so nice to hear all the birds singing. It's been a long time, you know, because we've had an horrible, nasty, wet winter, and it's pretty quashed all of that. But spring, I think it's springing right now. So yeah, let's press on warming these legs up. Well, sorry about the aircraft. Not much you can do about it. Right, we found a nice height. We're just going to stretch. Now, do not bounce. Just keep still, right? Just give it about 10 seconds each leg just to really stretch everything out, right? Okay, I think I found a place to bash her down actually. It's not too far from the trek, but it's heavily screened off behind, as you can see, and directly in front of me, I'll show you, there's a bit of open space as well, so you've got some sort of light and you can see a fair bit, okay? Now this place, when it gets dark, practically the only people that be here is me and my mate, okay, so it's going to be nice and quiet, which is nice. During the day it does get busy with dog walkers, kids running around, and you know, cyclists, etc. So when it gets dark it'll be nice. So I think we're going to be okay. Predominantly at the moment I'm looking for distances between the trees, level flat areas, checking up for any dead standing or widow makers, and this looks pretty much perfect. And it's not really too far from the vehicles. Okay, it's uphill, but it's all hills around here, you can't nod it. So yeah, it should be fun. And also probably about 80 metres north-northeast that way, there's quite a big stack of logs. So you know, we could be using those around a fire to warm up and eventually burn, so that would save us heaps of time as well. So mission accomplished, as they say. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark it with my backtrack, and that's it. We're going to go back to the vehicle, which is that way. Let's go to home. Right, mark. All we do now is we hold it down. Okay, now you're going to get compass directions all over the place in a 0. That's now marked. Alright, so that's us. Turn it off. Let's go back. Now I probably won't need this to find my way back. It's not too bad, okay? But this is very handy if it's we go for a wander around in the night time, right? You know, it's everything looks the same up here in the dark, and it's a huge expansive woodland. So right, let's go back to the vehicle. My mate's not too far, so it's just come off the M25. Should be too long now. Okay, so we're coming down to the main path now, and as you can see, yes, there's yet another footpath which I'm on, which all of the cyclists use. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find some deadwood and just block this access off. Now it looks like there's nothing been down there for a while. I can't see any fresh tyre tracks and footprints. Okay, so that's probably a good thing. Yep, there's woodland there. There's a main reference point there, and that's us in there. So yep, just going to block this path off, and that will stop cyclists getting in there. Well, to be honest, there's not much they can do in there because it's really overgrown, so they're going to go in there and come unstuck and come straight out again. So probably going to be doing those a favour. So I just can't believe the weather, it's beautiful. Okay, let's get back to the vehicle. Okay, look, there's some of the wood I was telling you about. It's already been cut, and that is a huge bonus. All right, excellent. It saves us expelling a lot of energy and effort. It's not too far to lug a couple of those pieces back to camp, and we're all good. Okay, this might be a bit of a dodgy fit of filming, but we're going to just move it quickly downhill. It's another good way to warm your legs up as well. But obviously be very careful where you put your feet. In fact, just come up here, it's more sensible. Yeah, you can forget doing this uphill with a Bergen on. Okay, here we are, back at the vehicle, not a problem, and the weather's turned out very nice. And you can't escape noise in the UK, unfortunately. The closer you are to London, you've got the plains. You come to a big, expansive woodland like this, you know, every man and his dog comes out. We're going to quickly go over what's in the back of the motor. Okay, we got the PLC olive drab Bergen. Okay, that's not my bug out bag, that's a bag packed specifically for this weekend because we've got a few extras we want to show you guys, okay? In this bag, believe it or not, is warm weather clothing and some Arctic camo, including netting, etc. We got snow shovel, jump leads, MTP, Gore-Tex top and bottoms. In the camo bag, we've got a 4-season inflating mat. We've got a Norwegian that's full up with small bottles of water. We've got a jerry can, 20 litres of diesel, another jerry, 20 litres of water. On the box, we have all of the recovery and tools kit in there. Okay, I'm not going to be dragging all that out. It's so much stuff in there. It will take up an hour just going through all of that. Okay, just put a strap on there to secure it. We've got an aircraft vehicle panel marker with some paracord. What I decided to do on the inside of the vehicle is to put one of those dog guards in there. Okay, that just enables me peace of mind to secure this to it. So if I have to brake, it's not just going to be bouncing all around the vehicle. Okay, everything is all strapped in there. Okay, we've got a Dutch military 100-litre deployment bag. In there we've got 3 quality 100% wool blankets. Down there we've got a LIFESAVER jerry. That's 20,000 litres of water. We got the Leghorn box, which is just a utility food equipment cabinet really. And just down there we've got an MSS sleep system. Alright, now this has been pretty much like this all through the winter. Okay, it's been a weird winter. It hasn't been that cold, it's just been very wet, but nonetheless, if it does turn, I'm as ready as I can afford to be. Okay, so that is very briefly what we got inside the BOV, as they call it. Okay, sorry about the light in the shade, it is what it is. I've done a video on this recently, but I've moved it around a bit, as you do. All I've done is I've put the heavy cover lid right on the very top. It all fits so well, it's chuffed, and I've even got the Mark 1 Crusader on top of the Mark 2 with the 58 Survivor bottle inside. So far it's working out pretty good actually. Right. Okay, so there is the system. Alright. It weighs quite a bit because it's full of water at the moment. But I just love the way it all nestles together. And the reason I chose 2 metal mugs is because I don't see the point in taking plastic mugs in the field. But that's just me. The Survivor 58, that's full of water. Okay. There is water en route, as I've been discovering. But it always makes sense to have some on you. Now that just nestles inside there, as we know. Now, what I've found out, which is quite cool, that's in this bag, is the knife, fork and spoon fits nicely inside there, and I've just got a little backup emergency Bic lighter as well. Okay, so that sits in there lovely jubbly. I'm now going to be using the old fire dragon gel. Now this is all I've got to last me all over 24 hours. This is going to be doing all of the cooking. Okay, all of the boiling water, etc., all of the fire lighting. So hopefully we're going to make sure that we're going to put the myth, or the, you know, to rest. Will this actually cook food for 24 hours? All right. Some people have been asking me, it's great for starting fires, but it's no good for cooking on. Well, we're going to jolly well find out, aren't we? So let's start the test by doing some very basic, simple boiling some water for some noodles. Hey. Out of the Bergen, in the rocket pouch, is food for this weekend, right? So, we're going to see what we got today. Now, I'm a big lover of coffee, which I'm going to have soon as well. In there is my coffee, filtration kit and sugar, and indeed hot chocolate, alright? All sealed up in the bag. A couple of packs of cheapo noodles, which I'm going to have for my lunch in a sec. From the last outing, we've got left over ginger pudding and ginger sauce. That's going to be dessert. You've got lamb casserole mixed up with lamb and chickpea tagine. Alright, so they're both going to be going in a mug at the same time. And of course, you know me by now, all day breakfast times 2. Because 1 just isn't enough, 2 is a bit too much. But I'd rather have too much than not enough. I'll think about that much. Yeah, doesn't take a lot for that to get going, which is good. Now, trying to find something level on here is a bit precarious, but we'll have to see, won't we? Okay, I think that's us. Let's hope there's enough energy in there to make the boil. Well, it's only been a few minutes, but look, it's burnt out. And it's still not done. This isn't looking good. Right, let's get some more fuel in there and have another go. Right, what I'm finding out is I suspect that you might need like a windshield around this, okay? Because I'm getting a bit of flame licking through those holes and the wind blowing it everywhere. So I reckon this will probably work brilliant, but as long as you have like a windshield around it. Now, all I've been doing is just been using my hand from the direction from where the wind's coming, just to help it out a bit. But I think we're going to be okay. Just make sure that little reservoir inside is full up with the gel and then light it, okay? You should better get a boil, no problem at all. Okay, so the second lot of fuel is just burnt out, alright? I've got a feeling it's done, so we're just going to move them out of the way. Now this stuff looks like it burns really fast and very fierce, so I think there's no need to worry just yet. All right, it's all about getting used to it, practicing with it, knowing how much you need. All right, so I'm not sure if this is going to be enough, but we'll see. All right, it's the only way to find out. Okay, is to do tests like this. We don't want someone putting it in a go bag thinking it's going to last them 3 days and it doesn't. All right, so we're making sure we're doing a good honest test. Oh yeah, and it's cooked my noodles perfectly, alright, and just the right amount of water in there. I don't know how long it took, I don't know how much water was in there, alright, but you know, it's done the job, so that's a plus point. Wow, the weather, you know, I've changed, it's getting quite cool now as the sun's gone in, it's clouded over a bit, so it's just the right time. It is. A big bowl of noodles is ready, isn't it? That's actually quite nice. Right, that should do the job.
Police and thieves in the street, fighting the nation with their guns and ammunition.
First time ever on YouTube. Absolutely, bloody brilliant day. Look at it, meeting new people, woods, and getting the weight on the back for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it gets the old ticker thumping a little bit, don't it?
Breathing slightly heavier than I was 20-30 years ago.
Yeah, I mean it's all like this, but just plodding, we're fine. And the sun's turned out, it's beautiful, mate, isn't it?
Awesome weather.
Boy, it's getting cracking that way, yeah?
Rightio, mate.
Right, we've reached the top of the hill. So, you remember when they used to say, change direction, right wheel?
Yes, indeed.
There we go.
Pays to be a winner.
More efforts required, sir.
Well, that familiar burns back.
Yeah, love it.
Brilliant.
Look, there's our firewood over there, look.
Oh, well done, foresters.
Yeah. Right, there's my Bergen, been ditched. And there's Stuart's Bergen. My plan was use one tree, another tree, A-frame, and maybe if Stuart wants, don't know yet, use that tree and that tree, A-frame straight back. Feel nice to be out some, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's perfect. Not
Spot on.
sound other than us and the birds.
Yeah, beats Urbanville, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right, here we are, just preparing camp, as it were. The same old thing what I like to do, if we're like going to be moving around a particular area, is to make sure we've got nothing that sticks you in the eye, okay? So things like this, it's not going to kill the tree, we're just going to remove those. A nice clean cut so it's not going to get disease, etc. And that's pretty much it, we're pretty much okay regarding things like that, so we're good. As I say, you know, when you are moving around at night time and, you know, it's so easy to get one of these things stick in your eyeball. You know, you could be in a big nightmare. Right, so in one of the rocket pouches, we've got a fire dragon as we saw. Now this, some of you guys have seen before, this is my saw by Silky. And all I've done is I've just put a Desert Issue sweat rag around it, Ranger band. Obviously you can use Ranger bands for all sorts. It just makes sense to carry it around with you, okay, to security kit. Now all I've done is I've just wrapped it up inside, nice and simple. The reason being is because I just give it a really good spray, completely covered it with WD-40. WD-40 is just excellent, love it. And I just didn't want it mucking up the rest of my kit, okay, so keep it all clean. And yeah, there she is, more than capable. And it's extra large teeth, so it just makes for less effort really. It's just a pull saw, so every time you pull it just cuts big time, so it shouldn't take too long to remove some limbs. Look at the difference. You got, what's it, the Laplander?
That's an old school Laplander, mate,
yeah.
Versus Robocop.
So obviously for whatever you want, they're both going to do the same sort of job, they're just going to cut wood. But yeah, that's a lot lighter, I'll give you that. But there's the silk, the big boy.
That's sharp, isn't
It's a bit brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're doing proper work, then that's definitely what you want. It's not that much bigger handle-wise when it's folded.
Yeah. Just a little tip before I forget, because I always forget these things. Now, one of my subscribers years ago was watching a video of mine, and it was talking about bug out locations, of where you choose to go, where's suitable and where isn't, etc. One of the things he said to me was, if you found a really good spot and you think it's going to be fine in the future, plant loads of potatoes everywhere. It's a no-brainer, it's a great idea, because I used to have an allotment years ago, and growing spuds are quite easy. Just try different varieties, different times of the year, which ones work, which ones don't. The ones that work, just keep planting them, because what that will do is every year you're going to have spuds, whether you dig them up, go there or not, they're going to keep growing. So, free food, you ain't got to walk too far. Right, go on then, what we got here, mate? Look at that.
Well, this mate, it's the roll mat I had made up for Belize back in 92, I think it was. Just fitted nicely in your hammock.
That's perfect, isn't it?
One bit of kit I never got rid of. It still works to this day. Old school DPM as well.
Yeah, you can't knock the old stuff, mate. No. You really can't, can you?
Sit down, got a chair. Yeah, absolutely good stuff, mate.
Yeah, we're liking that.
And
nice
it's light.
That's beautiful. Right, we've got the gloves on. We're picking up nasty stuff. No one get your hands all cut up. So let's get all this cleared out of the way. That's a good bit of scrim as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All this stuff, stand up out the way there. Right, there's the Bergens. What we've done, we cleared the area where we're going to be camping now. From experience, what I've noticed before is if you've got any bits of holly, pull it out, get rid of it, because invariably, you know, later on when it's dark, you're just going to stretch out, lean on it with your hand or whatever, and it's not good. Same old thing really, you know, any sharp stones, any sticks, you know, just bear in mind that you are going to be laying there tonight, alright? So make it as flat as you can without any horrible nasty bits. All of the above limbs have been taken away, so it's nice and safe. We've checked for widowmakers, that's all good, nothing bad. And Stu's playing with his Grand Force Brooks mini hatchet, mate, is it?
Yep.
Look at that.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Again, not too heavy, does the job.
You get a lot of power out of that as well, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Just got to be careful that it bites.
Yeah,
Very
they
easy
do,
if you're
don't
not
they?
Careful.
Very true, very true. So yeah, we've been doing some free forestry work for the guys, so I hope they appreciate it. Right, we're standing in the area that we cleared, and also, not forgetting, we plan to have a fire down there later. So what I'm thinking is, because I'm going to be walking around this area and Stu's going to be around there, we're not really going to be going over this way. So all of the excess pile has been pushed up on that side, so we're not going to kick over it. Obviously, when it's all done, dusted in the morning, it cools down. You just got one pile in one place just to cover it over. It's not all over the place and gets lost, okay? Just makes it a lot easier to square away. Right now, as we mentioned in the video earlier, we saw some logs over that direction. So we're going to go there, pick up as much as we can handle and do a couple of trips, and that should sort us for this evening. Okay, so we're going to be using this for the first ever time, and I know some people will say, yeah, but it's pretty and all the rest of it, but you know, a knife's a knife. It's no good to sit in a drawer. So we're going to be using the Bootneck CX today. Now I'm going to give you one last look at that lovely quality polish before I really smash it to shit. It's a work of art, and yes, it's very, very sharp. Okay, very dangerous bit of kit. Bit of Bootneck. We've got the colours on there, and the pummel as well. Now I'm going to be showing some of you guys who haven't done this sort of thing before a few tricks what you can use with a knife like this. So let's see what it's like batoning. That's the first test. So here it is for its last time, and we're going to be seeing what it's like through this. Now I think about there is going to be fine. God, bloody hell.
Awesome.
Yep, I think that's done the job. It's not too bad, is it? Do you know what? That's going to burn well tonight. Look at that. Awesome. Now she's been broken in. Time for some more tests. Gee whiz. This ain't going to take long, mate.
Oh, he's done fucking brilliantly there.
Yeah, I think so.
It's awesome, the network you built up.
It's asking for more abuse, so guess what? It's well in there, isn't it? Wanting a bigger stick.
Yeah, that's the thing, that batten's not Getting these cracking.
Look at that. That's right on its limit for a knife, I think, that sort of size blade. You need a bigger stick.
I mean, that's not the best batten, but that's slicing through that, mate.
Yeah. The spine's so sharp, it's killing the batten. Look at that. That is hard as hell, that. RWL 34 steel, that is something else. 63 bloody Rockwell too.
I'm impressed with that, mate.
We got there in the end, and yep, that's still bloody sharp. I think we killed this batten off of it as well. Yeah, no problems with that. Lovely.
This is a different league, mate, compared to the Laplander. The Laplander's good.
Yeah, of course it is. It just makes so much more less effort of it, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah. You know, I was blowing after using the Laplander, but this just.
It is cool bit of kit.
Time, mate.
Yeah, that actually lives in my bug out bag now because that's going to go on for donkey's years. That.
I love the fact you just changed the angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, good find.
Versatile, mate, isn't it?
Definitely on the list for one of these.
Shopping at Uncle Funky's again. We're using the gym pin there to scrape. Now, finding it that way was okay, but pulling it towards you, finding it's a lot easier. Now all that's going to do is this is going to create a nice big pile, and probably, I don't know, if you really needed to, just put it in the inside of your smock to warm up. You know, walking around for the day, your body heat's going to dry this out, and there's no reason really that shouldn't take a spark and get your fire started. But all day long, you know, just using the chimping of the knife is going to get that going all day long. It's nice, isn't it?
Look at this. This is awesome. We got spruce bough. We're gonna make some sticks with.
Right, sorry about that. That was survival Russia there. Well, we're just going to try different camp tasks really. Same old thing. Make sure that the little twigs are growing in the opposite direction, and you cut away from yourself. Unless you want to risk cutting yourself, of course. Not a good idea. Oh man, this bloody knife seems to be doing everything that I'm asking it to do. That's sweet as a nut actually. Yeah, that's clean. Oh, look at that, look where it's fallen. Just before I could put my knee, look.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, isn't it? Shit. It's like a hatchet, but it's only a little knife. Look. Look at now. Whoop. Yeah, okay. I'm convinced that we've got a good blade here. I always find shit wood. I thought, a bit of spruce will do. God, definitely take some practice. Can't believe it chops through that like that.
I don't think any dry.
Oh, I think so.
That's a tank of a knife.
Wow. Yeah, that was getting hard in the middle. Yeah, with some time invested, I think that's going to work pretty good. But I do think it's down to finding the right sort of wood.
I mean, with that shine as well, push comes to shove, you got yourself signalling.
Yeah, you probably could actually.
Yeah.
You would definitely see that glint on a clear day, wouldn't you? If you angled that right. Absolutely. It's very hard.
See what she burns like.
Yeah. Super feathers. Look at that. Can you hear that? Nothing. That's right, it's great, isn't it, mate? I love it when it's peace and quiet. It's awesome. That's awesome. Right, we're going to see again. We've got a better batoning stick now, so we should be able to see what it's all about. And already, the thickness of the blade is splitting it. Wow, that's pretty cool actually. Wow. Ain't that a bitch? But I think that's one of the benefits of having a thick blade, okay? It just creates a wedge and it's only got to go through about a fifth, and the rest of it's just going to pop. Makes it effortless. We've been battling with crazy stuff. So now it's tip test time. We need to see what the tip's like. I'll be all day doing this. I don't think this is going to break. Now I don't know
Yeah, Stu, you've done cold weather Arctic stuff. What do the blades behave like when it's cold doing this sort of stuff? I mean, I'm not sure if it...
Well, the normal knife was the big MOD survival knife, and even at minus 30, minus 40, that thing just, the weight of it just smashed through the small pines we were chopping for tent poles. But this thing's just tank proof, look at it.
Yeah, it's, I can't believe it, dude. It's still razor sharp all the way. Can't believe it. So what else can I do? Still got a nice point on there. That's sweet.
3-0, knife one.
Okay, so our little fire lay, as the Americans call it, we got 2 big logs there. That's just like a barrier to stop the flames and ashes spreading everywhere. Another log behind it, which is damp, so that's going to be drying out in time. The logs that we split with that little tri-rose knife, we've lent up at an angle, okay, to sort of get some airflow underneath. And we found as much dry material as we could find. And as we've noticed out there, we got loads of bracken, which has died, gone over. And from experience, I've found that a lot of the tips are very, very dry. In fact, you just bend it a tiny amount and it just snaps clean off. And to me, there you go, there's some of it there. That is excellent. That really works for me, so we're going to be using that. Lots of dead dry, hanging up twigs, you know, the same old stuff really. We've both been procuring loads of wood, chopping it up, sawing. Well, I think Matey boy's doing most of the sawing. And we're battling through that, and all good, nothing bad. So the next thing to do is to get the basher up, because the sun's going to be going down probably in an hour or two, and we don't want to be left hanging in the breeze, so we're going to get that done now. Right, there's the Bergen in all its glory. Personally, I'm not a fan of having loads of pouches and kit, you know, lashed all over it. You know, just keep everything inside. If you need to put kit and equipment on the outside of your pack, you're carrying a small pack, get a bigger one. That's my opinion. Right, got a question. Now this piece of material here, got no idea what it's for. All of the Bergens have them. It's a very soft, smooth, with a little bit of stretch on it. So if anyone can tell me in the comments below what the design was for that part of the Bergen. It's only on one side, that's all it is. Let us know underneath, or indeed, you know, let us know what you've used with it as well. I mean, I'm suspecting it's to secure something, but obviously something that's not too heavy, because it's just going to rip off. But yeah, answers in a postcard would be cool. Incidentally, if anyone's asking, that's just sniper tape. Just keeps it all tidy. You haven't got flaps and stuff all over the place. You know, you don't want stuff getting caught. That is like a utility pouch or whatever. All the time I've ever used these Bergens, the only thing I put in there is a first aid kit, nothing else. Some people put water bottles and whatnot, but for me, first aid, if you need it quick, it's literally unzip that and you got it straight away. You haven't got to go through all of this. That's the quickest, easiest way to get to first aid, right? The only times you're going to need first aid is very, very quickly, right? So that's the reason why I put that in there. Rocket pouches on the sides. There's the yoke system in there, so I can detach all of that and just zip these two together, carry all that at once. Right, to see what's inside. First thing that I do anyway, it's got a little torch, so if it's dark and you're setting up, you don't want loads of light everywhere. Something like that, a little night eyes clip-on light. They're very, very inexpensive. They're under £8 or something, I don't know. What you're going to do, in my opinion anyway, is the first thing you take out of your pack is shelter. Okay, so we've got the top open, we've got a little torch as we saw earlier. Loosen this off so we can get to it. Right? Always have some sort of dry bag in there. It doesn't have to be expensive. This just happens to be a military one. It does, it just keeps everything in one place. Now, everything in this compartment is all shelter and sleep orientated, so everything in here is just that, there's nothing else, okay? Very important, you got to have a pot to piss in. And I know people laugh, but we've been there, mate, haven't we? You know, when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're busting for a pee, you're in the shelter, it's hammering with rain. Why would you want to get out your nice warm sleeping bag, stand in the rain, get wet, have a pee, and then come back? Just drop your little chap in there, tick toppity boo, where's the beautiful place? Nothing serious, just a cheap ground sheet, okay? Doesn't have to cost a lot of money, that was £2, alright? First thing to take out. Got a little pouch, in there is bungees and paracord, right? And a few of those little clip-on things. I've always carried them, I've hardly used them, but every now and again if you need them, you can configure your setup to any way you want to, alright? It all helps. Sometimes I'll get cramps in my legs, so I've got little cramp tablets. I'm not really using them as much these days, must be getting good. Now I haven't used one of these for a long, long time. 1958 pattern poncho. Been a long time, so that's going to be set up. Basher pegs or tent pegs. Note that everything's in its own little pouch and bags and stuff, okay? If you just throw it all in there, you know, it's going to get muddy, it's going to get wet, things can get lost. Some little hand warmers. Now, some people laugh, it's fine. But this was a tip given to me by Ken, K-Jumper 1, retired US Marine Corps. You get 2, 3, 4, however many you want. Chuck them in your sleeping bag about half an hour before we go to sleep. And it makes a bit of a difference, okay? So, very inexpensive, worthwhile doing. Thermarest in nice little camouflage colours there. And what I've done is I've done my, if you can see that there, all it is, it's a big foam mat, okay? All it's going to do is that's going to insulate you from the ground. It's not comfortable, it's not designed to be comfortable. It just stops your body heat disappearing into the ground because it is cold, damp, it is the UK. Roll it around the outside, get your sleeping bag and just stuff it inside, okay? You don't even need a compression sack. Now underneath this, right at the very bottom in the front, I've got a folding mat pretty much similar to what Stuart's got over there. So together, it makes for quite a nice, comfortable night's sleep. And at the end of the day, that's so important, right? It's not a competition. At the end of the day, if you're comfortable and you sleep well, you're doing better than anyone who's shivering and uncomfortable, okay? Hey look, here it is. Poncho. Now I've just unclamped all of the side pieces. All they're going to do is they're just going to clip up to make your arms available. And one clips for them, so in effect what you've got is a nice big sheet, shelter sheet. Now first thing to do is obviously the head piece, we're not going to be using as a poncho, we're going to be sleeping under it. You just gather it all up and we're going to tie it tight with some paracord. That's all you've got to do, okay? Nice and easy really. Right, we've got some paracord. So what I've done is this weekend is the only time I've ever gone out in the field with just one knife, okay? Now, usually I always carry a couple of smaller knives, right, like a neck knife or a folding knife, but this is all it's going to be, okay? So I'm really relying on this, alright? So if this lets me down or it breaks, I'm just going to have to make do with what there is, but I've just used it for everything really, so far so good. Okay, all I've done is I've just tied a little loop onto the end of the paracord, threaded it through the eyelet and pulled it back on itself, so that's nice and secure. I'm now going to do a trucker's hitch. It's one of the only knots I'm really comfortable with, okay? So I'll show you how I do that now. Right, so all I'm doing now is I'm pulling it quite taut towards the direction I want to tie it to the tree. Now, all I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be focusing on putting another little loop, probably about there, okay? It's probably about 2/3 of the distance between the edge of the poncho to the start of the tree, okay? So I've got my point there, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little loop on itself, alright? Nothing fancy, just a loop, okay? Now all that enables me to do is to go around the tree and then back through the loop, and then pull it nice and taut. So we've taken our cord around the tree with the loop there, and at the end of the paracord we're just going to pass it through that loop, so it's all the way through. Now you can pull it as tight as you want, so it's nice and tight, and that's what you want to do. And yep, it's gone through there, and I couldn't film it all because I was trying to fight with it, but you just put it around itself and pull it, and that's all there is. So if you want to release it, you just get this, pull it, and the whole thing comes down. That's nice and tight now. Right, look what I've just been handed. Saurine. Is it malt loaf on it? Malt loaf in a little bar. Now, I used to have malt loaf as a kid a lot, but to have them portable, doesn't she look? Well, I can smell it straight away. You know that that unmistakable smell. Oh yeah. All I want to do now is cut it in half and put some really cheap horrible margarine in there. That's spot on that. Right, we're in the centre of the poncho on the top now. The paracord that I've secured the hood to stop any rain, should it rain come through. I've just put a loop on the end, okay? So all I'm going to be doing with that is putting... So now I've got my bungee cord on there. I can pull it up to sort of guesstimate what sort of height. Because there's no branch here, now I've got an idea of what sort of height to put my paracord from tree to tree to hook this onto, and to keep this middle bit off the ground, okay? Giving me more room inside. Okay, so there's our poncho, alright. It's not as big as I remember it. I don't know, I think they shrunk, mate, didn't they?
Yeah.
These ponchos. Yeah, I used to sleep 2 pods under these. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like those wagon wheels, you know, they're getting smaller, aren't they? So, as we mentioned earlier, we've put a hoop on there, put the bungee on, and all that's done is it's hanging on. It's pretty much like a washing line, all right? Because, you know, you're not always lucky enough to have branches overhead. And what I'm going to try and show in a little bit more detail is the actual knot used. Now, all it is, there we go, it's just a loop that was tied on, as we mentioned earlier. Okay, nothing hard about that. And that just goes around some tree of some description, comes back on itself, goes back through the loop, and then goes back again. And when you pull it taut, and you do one of these, what are they called, these knots? Over 3 what?
Oh Christ, half hitch, 2 round turns and a half hitch.
2 round turns and a half hitch. It sounds like the Cub Scout stuff, but that's effectively what it is. Okay, it's very, very simple, and all it is just a loop. All right. So if you wanted to quickly dismantle this, there you go. You just pull this piece, yank that, and the whole thing's gone. All right. It's just it's dismantled, and anything that's hanging around, I've just hanked. Okay, just keeps it nice and simple off the ground and stops it getting all messy. But no, it's I've been doing this for about a year or so now, but the first time I've shown it on video, and it's actually, it works very, very well. You can get it exactly the right tension you want, okay? But what I will say about paracord, if you are doing this for a long-term sort of thing, you do have to keep readjusting this to tighten it, because it will slacken, okay? Whether it's to do with wet weather, I'm not sure, but they do slacken a bit, so you do have to keep adjusting them to keep them tight. But, you know, for what we're doing for 24 hours, it's perfect. So all that's doing is just pulling out to keep it some more room inside, really. And the Bergen, well, we just finished using, so all of that kit's going back inside out of the way. And just a matter of time now before the old fire starter gets happy. Okay, so we've just put the cheap little ground sheet tarpaulin down, and that little fold out, I don't know, camouflage insulated mat. So it's nothing on its own, but as I said, you know, to Stu just then, when you add it with other stuff, it all helps, okay? As much gap you can get off of the damp floor, the better it is. So as we just saw, we got the camo thermo mat, the Swiss Army roll foam mat, and they're really good actually. I do like these, and the thermarest. So together, those three I believe you've got a suitable amount of insulation there off of the floor, okay? You could have the best sleeping bag in the world, the best wool blanket in the world, but if you're not insulated from the ground underneath, you could die very easily, believe it or not. It does happen, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, and all we're going to do, as we've done before, is these elasticated straps. It just holds it all together, because what tends to happen, you know, when you consider the materials, you've got this, and the sleeping bag, it's all nylon and stuff. As you move and you sleep, you slide around everywhere. And what you don't want to do is to wake up in the morning with all of this all over the place and you've not got the right insulation under you. So I've just found that these little elastic hoops really help keep it all together. Now this is quite interesting. This is my Arctic sleeping bag, okay, and this is Stuart's Arctic sleeping bag. They're both genuine. One's older, one's newer. Okay, this one is newer, 2004. If we look at the end, all of the information is on there. I don't know if you can see that. And suspected Corinthia, yeah?
I'm not sure. Just reading up on some of the things people posted, they're saying it's Corinthia, but I wouldn't want to put money on it.
Yeah, it does seem very well made. So it's interesting to compare the two, to be honest, because they're quite similar. Very similar, actually. Even the baffle, the Velcro alignment's the same. The head's almost the same. And if we look at my one here, again, you've got the baffle in there. Everything appears the same. But it feels lighter in colour as well. But this one, I don't know, it just seems to, it pinches over the zip. This one's exposed. Oh, it's a lovely zip on there, mate. Yeah, that's neat. And already I can feel my hands getting warm. So that's really good insulation in there. I don't think you're going to get cold in it.
No, nor you.
No, exactly. And do you know what? I think it's lighter as well in weight, which is a right old bonus, because they're renowned for being a heavy bouncing bomb. And also on this latest version you've got a webbing strap at the end, which is great because you can jam it in the Bergen like I've done, and you can just get that to pull the whole thing out in one go, no messing around. That's great. Thanks, Stu.
No worries, mate.
As always, the Bergen's there. All of the stuff we're not using anymore all goes back in the dry sack. That now lives inside, and it all gets sealed up, alright? So all I've got out now is what I actually need for later on, so I haven't got to scurry around in the dark, okay? Pea bottle, a couple of those hand warmers, the sleeping bag with the head folded over. Now that's important unless you want creepy crawlies getting in your fart sack with you, or your DOS bag. So it's all laid out on there ready for later on, okay? So, you know, if it gets a bit nippy, you can just lay on top of that, or indeed get inside it. You know, there's no point being cold when you've got a sleeping bag there, you know. Okay, we're starting to lose a light now, and the temperature's really dropping, okay? It's a beautiful clear sky. All of the wildlife's doing their thing at the moment before it gets proper dark. So forgive me for not showing you any of this next bit. But for me, personally, what I like to do is, as I start to feel it's just getting cold, now's the time for me personally to strip off, okay? I will start off with my bottoms, so it'll be boots off, trousers off, trouser twists off, long johns on, okay, trousers back on, boots back on, done, sorted. Next thing, it'll be the hat comes off, smock, all of the layers, and you put a base layer on, and then you put whatever layer you think you're going to need, okay? I just tend to put a layer on and give it half an hour or so. If I still feel cold, then I'll put another one on. Don't put them all on at once, okay? Just do it as you need to. We're not going to be doing any physical activities now. Everything's done, okay? So now's the time to make sure your core body temperature remains constant. Do whatever you think's needed to make sure that that stays the same, right? You don't be getting cold and you don't want to be sweating your ass off, okay? You want to get it just right.
Okay, so it's time to get the fire going. It's 7 o'clock in the evening, and we're going to be using our trusty knife. Okay, we just got the fire prepped earlier, as we saw. Comes with its own ferro rod, which is nice. And because the spine's nice and straight, we can actually use this to get the fire going too. You will start.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Nice one, man. Good effort.
If at first you don't succeed, just shower the shit out of it with sparks, and hopefully you'll be all right. So we're going to baby that now. We can't just leave that alone, okay? I've been here before. Right, let's put the ferro rod back on there, and we'll start babying our fire. Oh, brings back memories, mate, eh?
Look at that, look.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
In a cold, barren winter wilderness, the glow of a fire is just awesome. It's awesome. I like a survival fire to be very big and awesome. Oh, this is going to be a survival fire when we're done. I don't want to be sitting out here at -2 with a silly little campfire. We're on a real fire. Because there's so much dead wood lying around, it'd be rude not to. A fire that Lars would like. Yes. A Moscow fire. Right. And we got our drying pieces, so I do like I think they call it the TP method, you know, when they triangulate all of your sticks. And there's someone that's been feather sticked by Stu with his hatchet. Hopefully that should be good to go to catch some flame. I think we're good with this, mate. This is so nice and dry, these little bits. I think we're good.
That's definitely looking good, mate.
Yeah. I think, you know, some people, they do say, you know, it's a waste of time battening wood, but man, when it's been cold and damp, well, you can see it really does make a difference. And,
I feel a bit jacked, mate. I'm over here stuffing curry down my face, and you're
no,
doing the hard work on the fire.
don't, it's not hard work. I'll be having more curry later. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just prefer to eat probably about an hour before I turn in. In the meantime, I think I'll make do with my cigar. That'll get me through.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this is totally awesome.
Awesome. Right. Fed and watered.
Oh sweet. Right, hopefully we're going to leave that there to heat up and dry out. Now that's the same old thing. It's so tempting to just really pile this up massive. All that could do is to create a lot of smoke. It could go out, and you'll end up burning all of your material. So I think because it's been cold and damp, we're just going to leave that alone now. There's more than enough fuel on there to heat up, and it's creating quite a bit of smoke, as you might be able to see. And that's it. We'll just monitor it and just see how we get on. Well, this is a very nice surprise.
Oh yeah.
My mate Stu just give me a cigar. And I've already got one with me, so this is going to be a starter. So tonight, it's a very rare occasion, we're going to be smoking 2 cigars. Now that is cool. Okay, awesome. So without further ado, it's time to get clipping, okay? That's that. has to be done. Yeah, I think we've pretty much got a safe fire now, which is always nice. Oh, it smells nice too, man. All the way from Cuba. That's nice. Right, slowly start to build the fire, I guess. Wow, a pipe, sir. I say, splendid.
We can still be gentlemen.
Absolutely. Wow. Are you going through the phase of trying different tobaccos to find out what you like here? I bet it's hundreds to choose from.
Yeah, you get flavours added. I still love a cigar, but this is definitely a close second. And by the time you've filled it and tamped it and relit it, takes your mind off the world.
Yeah. I think Rich Tornapart gets into his pipes as well. My mate Steve over in Essex, who does the decals, old Sparky boy, he likes a pipe too. So it's good. I like seeing the old ways coming back, you know. I mean, now that the old smoking ban and all the rest of it, cigarettes, you know, I think people are turning to different things, aren't they?
Yeah, it's bloody lovely. Already it's you can feel the old tribulations and stress disappearing.
What sort of tobacco have you got in? It's not the Guzheng Peng, man, is it?
This is, I think, Peterson's Sherlock Holmes. Yep, Peterson's Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, that sounds splendid. That's cool. Whoop. How's the fire going? Yep, we're not out of the woods yet, as it were. As I said, I've been here before. We're just really keeping an eye on this because it's so damp and cold. It's the same old thing, really. We just keep nannying it, I guess. Okay, so a bit of oxygen was all it really needed, and we got a lovely fire going now. And all we've done is all of the logs that we've sawed up and split, they're all sitting around the edge, warming up and drying out because very, very damp indeed. So that is nice, lovely and warm too. Okay, so we've got our Crusader mug here. We've got the cook set. Now with the rat packs there, it doesn't take a much amount of water, and I'll show you that now. In there is probably not even at the lowest setting, okay? Once you put your food in there, the water comes up and you don't need a lot. That's over half full now. And what I'm finding out is you do need a lot of this gel, a lot of it, alright? Oh, you can see that in there. A nice big lump, right? So, everything's ready. Water, food, lighter, done. Put your bar over, put your food on. That is it. That's all you got to do. Really simple, but do not put a lot of water in here because it will just make a right mess. Unfortunately, there's no room to put the lid on because of the height of the rat packs, as you can see. We'll just keep an eye on it. Once that's coming to a boil, you want to give it another 5 minutes after that, and it should be just enough to heat all of this up. The food's already cooked inside, alright, you can eat it cold if you really had to. So all you got to do is make sure it's warm enough for your liking, really, and that's all there is to it. There it is. As I said, all I wanted to do was to see how much of this stuff is needed for the amount of food I'm cooking. It'd be so easy to put it on the fire there, but we're not. We're just going to use this. Yeah, that's like an inferno down there. Wow. And because it's aluminium, albeit anodised, and it's not exactly very thick because it's lightweight, it's not going to take too long for that to heat up and actually start cooking that water, which is a big bonus, really. That looks warm. And obviously, if you are doing this, the ration packs, they're very well made, so they're not going to melt. I advise, if you are doing this, don't use the stuff you buy from the supermarkets, because they're going to melt. Okay. Now, I've actually used these ration packs on the embers before, and in previous old videos, and they're fine. Okay, you just keep an eye on them, keep turning them, make sure they don't catch fire and melt. But you know, some of the Uncle Ben's and things like that, and you know, look what we found meals. If you do this and you do get flare-ups like that you can see, they will melt and destroy your food. So just a word of caution about that. And yes, it's been, I don't know, I'm guessing around 4 minutes or so, and we got a boil, which is good. Right, we're done. And I'll be honest, I had to put some more gel in there. I think once that reservoir's filled right up, it will boil a mug of that water, no problem, and it'll boil it for a little bit longer. Then after that, it's gone. So if you want to just boil water for a brew or noodles, it's fine. But if you want to simmer stuff for 5 or 10 minutes after it's boiled, you need to put more in. Now, the more I'm understanding this, the more I think this is a great firelighter, but to cook with, you need so much of it. I'm still undecided, but I'll be honest anyway. So the bottom line is the food's done, piping hot. That's great, and there's hardly any water in there at all. That's the benefits of cooking these, isn't it? And you got a nice hand warmer too now, because they're bloody hot. Oh, that one's opened. Ah, how did that open? It must have singed the end. Okay, that's not a problem. The bit that got singed is the bit that gets cut off. Now, as I said, I've only got one blade, and it's going to be doing everything. And I mean everything. Doesn't that look nice? Right, let's see what we're doing. Wow, big lumps of spuds. Look at that. Yeah, that's thoroughly cooked. No problem at all. And once I've eaten that, I'll be having the other one. I've just been doing some calculations roughly with this one bottle. 250 mils of fire dragon gel. Now, I've cooked up 2 packets of noodles, 2 pouches in a Crusader 2 mug, and I've probably put about 2 golf ball sizes on the fire when it was dying down a bit earlier, and it's nearly all gone. Okay, so if any of you people are thinking about using this for a 72-hour bag as your be all and end all, go careful, okay, because I don't think it's going to cut it. Speaking of cutting, I'll be careful I don't slice myself open with this bloody knife. It's quite hard plastic actually. In fact, it's very hard to squeeze, and I think the design of the bottle is stupid beyond compare actually. It should have been in one of those LIFESAVER pouches if you ask me, because I can't actually get the gel out of there without having to go Rambo with a knife all the way through it, which is no good. Yeah, you don't want to be doing this in a survival situation, do you? Pissing around like this. Well, it is what it is, got to be honest. Now I can get a stick in there to get the gel out to cook my dessert. Yeah, I think I'm just going to back up with what my initial thoughts were, that this dragon gel will light hundreds of fires, this bottle. But for cooking food, it's crap. Simple as it. For me, hexy blocks. Right, okay, so we've just about got enough in there. Back on with the water. Ginger pudding and ginger sauce. Nice little pouch. In we go, easy. It's not good use, mate, is it?
No. Daft idea for packaging.
Yeah. In fact, the first time I ever saw it, I said the same thing. I said, that's just ridiculous. Why would you put something like that in a Panda Pot bottle? It's beyond me. Oh well, it is what it is, I guess. Okay, it's time to go to bed.
Hey?
I'm talking to the camera.
Oh.
Oh mate, oh, it's been a wicked night, and it's time to call it a day. Now we're just going to let the fire just do its thing there, and it's still kicking out a bit of heat, so that's been laid very well. And yeah, the next time you're going to be hearing us is going to be in the morning, so night night, and we'll see you later. Don't fart in there because you will suffocate, you know that.
Coffee time.
Okay, we're up and out of the bag. We had a little bit of moisture, nothing too bad. I've opened all the fire out so that cools down, because it makes it easier for when we go later on. So that's all getting sorted. Ah, look who it is.
Morning.
First task of the day, coffee. Look at that, man after my own heart that is. Coffee before admin, mate, I'm sorry, but that's how it is. I don't think I mentioned Stuart's setup. He's got a DD Tarp, what is it buddy? 20 metres?
3.5 by about 100 metres.
It's massive, isn't it? It's huge. It's even dropped sides down on it, so that's wicked. And I think that's a Dutch hoop beefy, isn't it?
Yep, single hooped, and the old Arctic sleeping bag, lovely and warm.
Yeah, they've got Berghouse as well. Can't go wrong with Berghouse, mate.
No, no.
And is it MSR?
Yeah, MSR cooker, and just with a foot plate.
Oh, very handy.
And Alp-Kit mug.
Mate, I've been hearing good things about Alp-Kit.
Yeah, they're a cracking outfit. They're cheap, they're good, and everything they use, they practice with it first, so they're spot on actually.
Awesome, mate, we like that.
Nice one.
Right, here comes coffee time. Oh, that'll do. That's the benefit of having 2 mugs, isn't it?
Beautiful, look at that.
Oh, the smell. Oh, it's like an angel pissing on my tongue. Oh, yes. We've got a bit of Fog 360 going on there. There you go. Now, it's another thing I try to say to people who haven't done this before. What they'll do is they get a Crusader mug and they'll fill it up to the top with water, boil it up, and then they'll find they're about a third of the way through it and it's gone cold. Well, all I've done there is that's the same sort of size mug I have at home.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, I'm drinking 3 mugs of coffee, half of it cold. Yeah.
And why you're up all night pissing.
It's another one, mate. Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's all a bloody learning curve, isn't it? It wasn't until I was at home and I thought, do you know what? I've got my Crusader mug. I filled up my mug with water, poured it into the Crusader, and I thought, bloody hell, it's only like less than half. So ever since then, mate, that's all I need, you know. And I found out that these little sugar things, one of these isn't a teaspoon at all. So you've got to put bloody loads in. Otherwise, it's just drinking like, well,
Free from Costa or...
oh yeah, never pay for them, mate. Nah, what's the point when they're all waiting to be bloody picked up for free, you know?
We just spent like £6 on a single cup of coffee, so...
Oh God, yeah.
Allow slacking out for the sugar to go with you.
Absolutely. Cheers. Always nice to have a cup of coffee, mate. Do you know what? I believe the sun's coming out like there.
It's trying to.
Wow. It's going to be another beautiful day on planet Earth, friends. There you go. That's the beauty of having it double filtered. You can drink all of it. There's no little bits in there. Smooth as hell. Lovely.
What you got for breakfast then?
All day.
Nice.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. It's my favourite. Okay. Well, I reckon if that goes in that way, yep, I should better get the lid on. That's better. Oh, mate, that's Bonds are bringing that gas.
Yeah.
So usually I have a backup like Hexy or something, but I thought I really wanted to test that FFRWDGRECH gel out. Just let me down, man. I can't even have breakfast. So if you want there, old Funky would have gone hungry.
Gone home hungry.
That's no good. So because we've folded it all up now, you can put the lid on. That's going to boil up quick, fast, in a hurry, no problem now. Oh look, there's my sheath, but where's the knife? Well, what I thought I'd do is I wanted to test the steel. So all night in this cold, damp environment, I've stuffed it under here. Wow. Look at that, no rust. The knife that keeps on giving. Built like an absolute bloody tank. Oh yes. Very happy. So if you're watching, Adrian from Chiro's Knives, I can't thank you enough, mate. You're a true master, and to finally find a knife that doesn't break, doesn't rust, that remains sharp, and also you can use it as a signal device. Totally made up. That is fantastic. Thanks, mate. Well, look at that. That's been steaming for a couple of minutes now, so I think we're good to go. Yeah, sweet. Thanks, Stu. You saved my bacon, mate, literally.
No worries, mate.
Yeah. FFRWDGRECH loses on this occasion. Awesome. Coffee and breakfast is done. Someone's packed up. That's the only trace you're going to see of that.
Yep.
And the fire pit, that's all been pissed on and quashed, dug over, covered over with leaves. The Bergen's there, the smock. All I've got to do is cover up where I was. Now all I've done is I've just put
like a berm of leaves all the way around the edge. And that's all just going to get kicked over. Job done. Cool. And yes, everything's all covered up now, and you wouldn't even know we was here, mate. And that's exactly how you should leave it. Don't leave any mess behind. And double check everything, you know, because the odd bit of bungee cord or paracord or whatever. Really have a good look around, yeah? And that's us.
I'll give you £100 if you can find where we've been.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would never find where we went. And that's what we always leave no trace, you know, never leave any rubbish behind. No.
It's nasty, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Hello. Both in the Marines years back, so we'll just keep a hand in the
Hello, mate. You alright?
away from the rat race.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you haven't done
You're a good doggy.
30 miles in that direction?
No,
No.
not yet. Building up to it. That's my doggy fix for the week.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could
No.
take it home with me.
Mad dog. Completely bonkers.
Wouldn't have it any other way, mate.
No. We like bonkers dog.
Have fun, mate. Take care. Right.
Here they come, mate. You're right.
Yeah, let's start running down the hill, shall we?
I'm gonna put on an iron shirt and chase Satan out of earth. I'm gonna put on an iron shirt and chase the devil out of earth. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another
Yeah, nice to
race.
get that new bivvy up and have a play with it. Nice to play about with a hoop bivvy.
Well, yeah, that's what it's all about as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, some people say, well, you didn't need to do that, why did you do that? Well, the reason is because it's new, you want to see what it's like, you know.
Good thing is, if
Learn
I ever
about it.
have to play for real or hard,
Yeah,
I already know the capabilities of it. I know how big it is.
yeah, it's so important knowing that. I mean, that's what I said before, you know, never go on people's videos.
No.
You know, use it as a guide, and if it's something that you're thinking along the same lines, by all means, you know, try it.
Yeah.
If it works for you, you know, fine, you know, it's perfect. Well, what I will not do is get some rubbish kit and tell everyone it's good.
Yeah.
No way, that's dangerous. I try not to breathe it in, by the way.
Say again?
I try not to breathe that in, by the way.
Oh no, I've got a little bit of that. That's fine.
The all-day breakfast is working its way out. We've only been 2 clicks.
You wait till that ginger thing tries to work its way out. You'll be screaming soprano.
Mate, I couldn't eat all of that ginger pudding. That was seriously something weird about that. You've got all the water we can drink up here, mate, haven't we?
Yep.
Just like it where the air is so crisp and clear as well.
It's gorgeous morning.
Beautiful, lovely day for a walk.
Just everywhere you look is ideal bivvy spots.
Yeah. Oh, hello, what's going on here? Look, there's some bloody gazebos put up for some cycle thing. I hope we can get out all right.
Yeah. I'll follow you, mate. Put your foot down in the beast.
Yeah, I'll just drive over. Yeah, but on the whole, the people we've seen over the weekend have been all right, haven't
Very friendly.
they? Yeah, no
Very
problem.
friendly. Even the dog walkers are not alarmed.
Yeah. Speaking of alarms,
Signals come back.
bloody hell, yeah, you're going to get loads of messages now. Oh well,
Back to
21st century.
yeah. No, the cracking all-nighter, thanks, mate.
Oh mate, more than welcome, anytime. So we'll have to get you out with a couple of others, mate.
Yeah, more than happy.
Right, that's it from us two. Thanks for watching. Stay funky. See yourself on the screen.
Yep.
There's more of them.
If anything, not a lot. That's how I feel. Look at this. This is awesome. We got spruce bough. We're gonna make some sticks with.
You know, Lars, that's fair enough, mate. You know, yeah, that will fucking teach me. Right, okay, that's a sign. I'm not taking the piss out of Lars, mate.
Yeah. Funky is that largest spruce you have found.